So last week I ended up analysing Joker with Joaquin Phoenix when I was supposed to be resting, and so many of you have asked me to get the Instagram clips and edit them all together in a video, and that's what I've decided to do.
If you like the Joker, go do yourself a favor and watch Agony Autie's current Instagram stories, because the way she analyzes the movie is just beyond anything.
I looked at it from a autistic, disabled, neurodivergent perspective.
So one person in particular that made me feel so flappy and joyful was Agony Audie, who is doing a disability-informed film analysis about the Joker. It was so detailed and amazing.
I'm autistic. I have PTSD, which is post-traumatic stress disorder or response to prolonged trauma. But it took me 36 hours to watch the film. He's never been allowed to be sad in his life. He's literally crying right now. This is a person in a lot of pain right in the beginning. And he is beaten up. And then the next scene is getting therapy and he is in grief.
Just stop. What, do you think that's funny?
Autistic people have to give these out, literally. People who with neurodiversity and disabilities are expected to give these cards out. So the movie's really good at demonstrating to you, I'm only 13 minutes in, and people are laughing at him for ticking in the audience, and I think it's going to try and show you the circumstances into how he just crosses that point of no return. What were you saying about the Joker? Just to keep watching it?
Just keep watching it, yeah.
I'm only 27 minutes in though.
It is a bit of a ride, a bit of a traumatic ride, and at the end you'll be like, oh, a minute.
My empathy mode for this character is just through the roof at the moment, and things are starting to go bad, and I can see where it's starting to escalate, and I'm only 28 minutes in. So I was just saying to my mum, sorry, about the Joker, the diazepam's not kicked in yet. With his escalating environment, and from what I've seen in 28 minutes, if he got help, actual empathy, community, peer-to-peer support, now, none of the horror that I assume is about to happen would occur. Because this is a vulnerable person. And you see that within 28 minutes of the film. So I don't know what comes next though. Probably a good drug. So it's been almost an hour and I don't want to move past this frame. I don't want to see his life get harder. I didn't want to see how this person who I identify with, how does he end up a killer? Just press play and things are really escalating. And he's been taught to smile even when he's in pain. That's why he plasters that fake mask on. It's just escalated. He crossed the line when he was being attacked, and now he's literally regulating through stim movements. The trauma that he's been through, the amount that he's been through has come to this. It's a lot of our stimmy behaviours and tics. This is why it's a painful watch. It's a painful watch to see how our neurology has been understood as madness. So this in-depth look, I'm at 38 minutes now.
They've cut our funding. We're closing down our offices next week.
Wow. This is
cut funding across the board. Social services is part of that. This is
okay. Social services and mental health's gone out the window, so this is escalating.
Am I supposed to get my medication now? Who do I talk to?
I'm sorry,
Oh, it's good to be here.
It's painful for him. He's trying to suppress it. He's actually trying to choke it down. It took me 6 hours to watch 55 minutes of The Joker for a reason. And that's because I'm pausing it every 10 minutes to analyse it for like 40 minutes like this. Day 2 of The Joker. What I meant when he's vulnerable is, yes, he has a tic. Yes, he has a neurological condition. Yes, he has past trauma, which I don't know what that is yet. I think I'm about to find out. But he just associates into fantasy worlds where he imagines love and acceptance and a father figure. And he writes this down. He even goes to comedy clubs and he's trying to be like other people and trying to fit in. And he writes down, make eye contact. And he says, people expect you to behave as if you don't. Because relative to him, he behaves. He had his job, he's had his med, he's had his therapy, he helps his mum. He does everything. Why can't he fit in? So far we have seen Arthur freeze, flight, run away, fawn, join in, please, and then there's fight. And they are all responses of fear. As an autistic, neurodivergent and disabled person, we are allowed to identify with characters on the screen. And if we're triggered by it, it's because this is not just a spectacle to us. This may be bits of our life.
You also gave us one of your cards. This condition of yours, you're laughing. Is it real? Some sort of clown thing. A clown thing? Yeah.
He's disassociating here. He's in a really traumatic state. And I honestly think that that lady isn't there. That's just my instinct. He wants love and acceptance.
I hated school as a kid. Someone laughed at me. Well, no one's laughing now.
He idolizes him and
Say that again, pal.
escalation time.
What's wrong with you? Look at us.
I think you are.
Well, that's impossible. Because you're adopted, and I didn't sleep with your mother. What do you want from me?
Society already believes he's crazy. So where would he have gotten the help? Everyone mocks him when he laughs when he's actually crying.
Well, yeah, some have. You know, some are just crazy, pose dangers to themselves and others. Some just got nowhere else to go. Don't know what to do, you know? Yeah. Somebody. You know, they got programs, city services, stuff like that.
Yeah. They cut all those.
They cut the services, that's why he's here.
All right, it is.
Don't read it. You've suppressed this for a reason. Do not read it. Don't read it. Oh, no. He was domestically abused.
Penny, your son was found tied.
We finally learn what he learns, and how has there never been any help for this person? So when our governments say that people act out because they're just crazy, Remember, every single opportunity he could have gotten help at adoptive stage. Maybe if someone stopped him being abused. Maybe if his therapy wasn't cut. Maybe if his medication wasn't taken away. Maybe if his job wasn't taken off him. Maybe if he didn't lose all hope and faith. Maybe if he wasn't beaten by members of the public. Maybe if society accepted him. How did we get to this point?
Sweet. But, no. I feel good. I stopped taking my medication. I feel a lot better now.
Oh, okay.
Gary? You were the only one that was ever nice to me. Yeah.
So the next time your government blame mental health communities for acts of violence and terror, and the next time you tell yourself, it's okay, they're just crazy, just remember, if Arthur had been loved, supported, not abused, his trauma addressed, if his bullying into adulthood could have been stopped, if he could have been had in a secure environment with work, if he could have had his therapy and his meds, if he could have, it's the environment. The environment produced Joker. Arthur tried. I've had to take a 2-hour break from the last 30 minutes I've got now. Because it isn't a spectacle, this is a very realistic portrayal of mental health, and I'm scared of where it's going to go next. Society's intolerance, lack of acceptance and judgment
Mr. Franklin. Oh, come on, Gene. That's all bullshit.
created
Thank you, Murray.
Joker.
I feel like I know you. That's what you called me on the show. A joker. Do you remember?
Did I? I don't know. Well, if you say so, kid, you know, Joker it is. It's good.
Thanks, Murray.
I could use the bathroom.
Does he have sexual problems?
Well, he looks like he's got a lot of problems.
The film demonstrates the stigma towards people with mental health. He has been manipulated, groomed, abused all of his life. And they're about to do it again on the show, but he's anticipated it this time. So far, the film has done a really good job at explaining all of the root causes, the context, and the current environmental stresses that are leading to this point. So it blames society. It's not just the individual, but not all audience members may pick up on that, and I worry that people who are ignorant will just think that trauma victims can commit awful acts of crime instead of seeing it as society's failures, which I really think the film is doing through Gotham City. And it's jarring because that's what a lot of people face in real life when they're disabled or different. So it has taken me 33 hours or more to get through Joker because I'm an abuse victim and I've had to step back. 20 more minutes to go. Hopefully only 15 with the credits because it's a lot to process. Arthur was a good guy.
It's like out there, Murray. Do you ever actually leave the studio? Everybody just yells and screams at each other. Nobody's civil anymore. Nobody thinks what it's like to be the other guy.
Me? I'm awful? Oh yeah, how am I awful?
Playing my video. Inviting me on the show.
He took the wrong route. No, he took the wrong route. The film, I think, crossed the line literally with one of the lines, and this is how we're represented in the media. It's like, oh, mentally ill loners, trauma victims committing awful acts. The rest of the audience are only seeing Arthur through this screen. It's the first time they've ever seen him. We've seen all the context. I'm concerned audience members that aren't familiar with autistic, neurodivergent, disabled, trauma victims. I'm concerned that people that don't know my community, I'm concerned audience members are going to see vulnerable people as a threat instead of the societal failures as a threat. Yes, it was sympathetic. Yes, it outlined some of the stigmas, prejudice, abuses that we face in isolation. But will today's mainstream audience, with their current knowledge of neurodiversity and mental health, will they become more fearful of people who have gone through trauma? Or will they fight for a better society so that people like Arthur could have had help earlier and support and love and acceptance? This film should be about fixing society, not fixing Arthur. So I've not been able to work for since November. If you enjoyed that and you would like me to do more film reviews, please consider making a donation. This is the only way I know how to feel like I can help or be productive when I'm still so unwell. But I'm getting stronger every day. It's just getting back out there, and doing this really made me remember that I can do my job, and that all that self-doubt is just being ridiculous. And your response to my analysis, I was not expecting. People sometimes think I'm mad, but if I frame it as a lecture, all of a sudden it's not mad. So that's kind of like a double standard, and that's called stigma. That's why you relate sometimes with the can't win situation. Let me just reiterate, if you can't donate, sharing, liking, tagging, just spreading my work, especially when I'm on my knees, that's what helps. You don't have to message me saying, I will, please, that's you guilt tripping. So remember, relative, you look after yourselves, but only if you can throw a donation, like a cup of coffee donation, a cake, that kind of thing, donation my way, then please do. Don't put yourself at risk, okay?